Hello friends, thanks for joining me here today. I have a fun fall video for you. First, we're going to start out by making my favorite pumpkin spice latte, and then I'm going to get into sharing with you my budget seasonal decor tips as well as my system for switching out our large family's seasonal wardrobe. I have developed over the years some strategies that have made this task that is normally overwhelming and monumental really simple and straightforward, and it takes me less time to do it than it would to go out and buy new clothes. So come along with me today, and I'm glad to have you here. This pumpkin spice latte is so easy. It's really just basic. It's a tablespoon of maple syrup with some espresso shots, and then I like to use about a tablespoon of canned pumpkin. This is just plain canned pumpkin I got at Walmart, and regular pumpkin spice. Just do a couple of shakes in there, and it is just delicious, guys. It honestly is simple, but it just tastes like fall to me and is so satisfying. And I like to blend the pumpkin with the coffee first so that when I add my milk, it's just all creamy and already pre-mixed. I don't have to let out any of those delicious bubbles along the way. Okay, I've got my coffee in hand. I hope you've got yours, and come along with me as I do a little bit of seasonal decorating. So my strategy for keeping my seasonal decor minimal is I limit myself to one tote, except for Christmas. And I really like to focus on natural elements first. So as you can see, I've already put a few sprigs of some of my branches from my yard, and then I'm going to bring up a tote of things that I have collected. But first up, I'm going to do a quick tidy. It always feels good to get the room in order before I bring in the seasonal decor. And my bin of seasonal decor, I got primarily last year at the end of the fall. I went into Hobby Lobby and they were having 90% off of their clearance, and so I got these items, guys, for 10 cents on the dollar. So it was like a little bundle of pumpkins, and you'll see these little things. They were each like $1.50, less than $2 a piece. And it was such a deal, so I did buy several of those things and put them in my tote. And my rule is that if I buy something and put it in my tote, I have to remove something else. So maybe there's something that I just don't use anymore, or it's, maybe gotten played with by the kids and kind of gotten funky anyway, and that needs to be pitched. Then I know I have room to buy something new, but I really try to just limit myself to this one tote per year. And another thing I enjoy doing is keeping fall seasonal books out for the kids, even if they're ones that we have owned for years. I just make sure to make a little pile on the coffee table to remember to read those ones with the kids. We've gotten several new ones from the library recently that we really enjoyed that were fall themed, and I do share those with you on my blog, legacyanddays.com. If you want to check that out, our favorite fall picture books and read alouds are over there. You can see which ones we enjoyed in September. So yeah, but mostly these are just clearance things I've picked up. These coasters, I think, were like 90 cents for that package, and I went ahead and bought them because I knew I had room in my tote. And if I happen to find things at the end of the season this year that I want to replace with what I had this year, I can go ahead and do that. But my favorite ways to decorate really are with candles and natural elements. I like to bring in branches from around my yard. Just cute little fun pumpkins, maybe to replace something that was already on my bookshelf. I might take a few items down and just put a pumpkin there instead. But I don't really go all out, and I don't decorate for Halloween, so this really is the extent of what I will do. And another thing I like to do is fun scents, so like cinnamon scented pine cones. These little velvet pumpkins are really sweet and soft. I'm just adding a little touch here and there. I did get several greenish blue pumpkins from my garden this year, and I put those on my porch, although I don't show them in my video here. I forgot to run out and film that, but those are pretty fun. Maybe I'll do a porch decor thing in another video. But just swapping out my pillows for some little buffalo plaid that are in kind of fall colors, and those slip covers I found on Amazon for a really great deal. And then just making sure I'm putting around some comfy throws and blankets, and just making the house generally comfy is my favorite thing. Now we're going to get to the not so fun part, but the seasonal wardrobe rotation. First thing I have to do is go down into my storage room and bring up the totes that should be empty, that are labeled for spring and summer clothing for the boys that I'm going to switch out today. So those totes are ready to go, and I can just pull open their drawers, and I go through and I call all the very obvious summer items except for maybe 2 pairs of shorts, because we still are enjoying some summer weather right now. So I just make a pile of everything that is very summer related, all the light colored shirts. I might keep 2 pairs of heavier shorts and a few darker colored short sleeve shirts that work for the fall, as we are phasing into cooler weather, but we still have some warm days. And after I've made a pile of those things, I get ruthless about only keeping the items that I would be happy to see again for the next child. In other words, I do not keep anything I wouldn't buy at the secondhand store. And those just basically, if they're stained, if they have a hole or a tear, or just extremely faded, I put them in the trash. I don't even donate them. And to be honest, sometimes there's just a shirt that I am tired of seeing. It might be in great shape, but it's been passed down through several kids. I just, maybe put that in a pile to donate to somebody. I get really ruthless. What would I be happy to bring out next year? And that is what I keep. And now what I also do here that you see me doing is I do this on laundry day when I'm washing their clothes, so I can go through their clean clothes as well and pull out their summer things from there. So now I've brought up the fall bin of the next size clothes that they're wearing. If they are a size 6, then I bring up the 6-8 bin. If they're in a size 8, I bring up the 8-10 bin. And I get out all of my favorite pieces in the best quality first, so that I can see. I want several pairs of nice pants, I want several nice shirts, and it's really easy to see here and notice as I'm doing this, oh, there's not enough jeans, or there might be too many shirts. And that little gray canvas bin there, you can see, is where I put overflow items if I've pulled out our favorites and there are still several shirts in there that are decent but just too many for the drawer. You can see on my blog what I limit the number to before, so it doesn't get overwhelming. I just put those in that bin and keep them up in the boys' closet in case we need them later. Maybe they might have 3 pairs of really nice jeans and 3 pairs of play jeans and a bunch of athletic pants, just too many jeans. I put those nice jeans up in the bin and I keep them for later in their closet. Usually there's not so many. And then I do not keep any of the heavy winter items out, like Henleys, waffle knit tees, fleeces, Christmas things. Those items, as you can see, I'm just pulling them out, but I'm going to put them back into the tote here shortly because I do not put those in the fall. So I'm just making a little capsule wardrobe basically from everything that I collected from previous years with my boys. And it's easy to know what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep now because I don't want the drawers stuffed. And I have gotten rid of all of the junk when I did this with my previous kids. So I don't have a bunch of junky stuff that I'm not happy to see. These are cute little shirts I'm excited to bring out again. And I'm just going to go ahead and put those in their drawers. And note, I make a little note on my phone if they are in need of any pants or any items to fill out their wardrobe, which does happen because boys are really hard on clothes. We can't pass everything down. I just make a note so I know what to purchase so that I can make intentional purchases and not have to run out for everything or buy things I actually just don't need. And so I also do this with their socks. We bring out the taller socks and pull out the short socks. We pull out the shorts pajamas and put in the long cotton pajamas, but not the heavy fleece ones quite yet. And this way I know, okay, their drawer is filled just where it needs to be, and if they need a few things, I'll buy a few more, but otherwise overflow goes up in the closet and we keep it in case we, have a kid that grows out of something or trashes something. But I do not stuff our drawers because I have found when we do that, we have too many clothes all over the floor. And again, if you want to check out more on how I decide what to keep, I have a post on my blog. So if you want to develop this system, I just really suggest you take the bag of hand-me-downs or whatever it is that might have the next season size of clothes for your child in it, and just pull out those things that you want to keep. And do not try to deal with the rest of the items in the bag. That is what can be overwhelming. And so the next season, do the same thing. Pull out that same bag, check and see if there's any sweaters in there for winter, pull out what you like, and eventually you'll get to the point where you realize there's nothing in here that I want anymore, and you'll know what to donate and you'll know what to call. And this just makes it so much more easy. What I used to do was try to organize everything every season, and it was just too much to do. And so now that I have this bin rotation system, I do not relabel the bins. They stay labeled. And when the summer clothes are in the dresser drawers, those bins are in a stack empty on the floor. I do not switch out labels. I keep the label by color coded by season and by gender and size, and they just stay that way. And when they're not in use, they're stacked up and waiting for those clothes to get put away. So now I get to just take those summer bins back downstairs, and I hang up a couple of jackets for the boys and sweatshirts that they might need. And if you're curious about what I keep out on a regular basis, you can find that over on my blog. And I hope that you have enjoyed coming along with me today, guys, and I hope that you are having a great fall season so far as you do your preparations for this cozy, wonderful season.